Folks, what is the crack with you? Cameron here, and you're tuned into another episode of the Chef Fit Show. And basically the idea of this is going out to a lot of people, chefs especially, sharing the stories of some of the chefs that I've had the pleasure of working with and bringing into the community, and seeing them go on their journeys. And you will basically get to hear and see the stories of chefs who've been in your position, have overcome it, and have come out the other end with some fairly ridiculous results. You know, that's the idea here. Now, on today's episode, it's a bit of a special edition, other than my hair being totally fucking deranged. It's a special edition because we've got El Capitano, we've got the leader of the group.
Let's go, champ.
Peter. Right, so Peter, just to give us a little bit of background to anyone watching this, like, first off, your background as a chef, and then your reason for wanting to start Chef Fit.
Right, I started as a chef when I was in third year of school, like 20 years ago, right? I was 15. And by the time I'd done my leaving cert, I was a third year commie. So I went through years and years of doing restaurants, hotels, pubs, a whole lot of it, upscale and downscale as well, big time. Did it all. Did all the hours, did all the splits, did all the doubles. Switched to Thai food, did 5 years top end Thai food as well. Then I got blown out by the restaurant trade itself, by the industry of how chefs were treated, you know. There was some dark times that lead to getting out of that part of the game. But with my skill set, when every chef leaves a job, my skill set is cooking. So I think, right, what can I do? What else am I going to be able to do now where I need to get back into it? So I switched to working days and started working in hospitals, schools, stuff like that, and joined a company called Armark, worked with them for years, and then the same thing started to happen again. So what was happening is that the jobs are getting to you. Yeah, you've done it all. You're getting browned off, and everything kind of closes in on you. You think, right, I need to get out of this, and that all builds up into who you are and how you're getting on in your own life, and that reflects on you. So where you are mentally reflected, where I was mentally definitely reflected where I was physically. And I needed a big wake-up call. So I left the responsibilities of work behind, started working agency work, got my head straight. Then I was like, do you know what? Head's in a good place. Why don't I start getting my body tuned in and bang up to date with the rest of me? I tried a couple of bits and bobs. I'm an absolute looper when it comes to cardio. I can walk, I can run, I can cycle for 140 kilometers, no problem, 2-3 times a week without stop. But I've got this big chef's belly. I've got the chef's lifestyle, eating habits. I've lost weight before. I've done other bits I've done like water diets and, you know, all the silly things, all the fads. I was like, you lose a lot of weight in the first couple of days and go, all right, this is great, I'll reward myself, and then you fall straight back into it. The reason why I joined Chef Fit in particular was at the start there wasn't much to go by. So you kind of look into it and read what you could from the start. We're saying, right, you have this guy, bit eccentric, coming at you going, right, do you want to lose the gut? Do you want to get fit? Do you want to do it in no fucking time? Well, here's a phone number. Give me a fucking text and we see what we do. And I did it, and it's after changing my life. It's changed everything around. And it's just the start now of what's going to come. You're saying about leading from the front. All I'm doing is trying to copy it as I'm going along. And the other lads are jumping on board, and you know, everybody's doing it. We're all at it now, and it's working great. The results are there. I'm 10% lighter. You say 9 kilos, 10% lighter than I was at the start. The initial 28-day challenge.
28 days, 9 kilos, folks. More or less 10. Let's be 10. It's 10 for real.
Yeah, it's 10. Of course it is.
You know, and yeah, I think it's definitely, like, I can remember our phone call It's a pretty intense phone call. It was one of the first Peter was one of the first people we got into the program. And he was fucking pumped from the off. He was like, fucking, let's go. You know, and it was great. That sparked me into getting excited about the whole thing, you know. And I think the way you kind of stepped in and led the group, as you said there, like fucking following some suit of this is what I'm trying to get across in the group, you know. I'm trying to lead the group. Therefore, I'm trying to build people into leaders. You naturally do that. So that's why you were able to pick it up and go with it so well. Peter, from your point of view, like, where were you at before the challenge? Like right before the challenge, and you're like, fuck it, I've had enough.
Right before, I remember saying to myself at Christmas time, going, like, this is the worst state you've been in. This is the heaviest you've hit the scales at. You're creeping up on 90 kilos. You're not eating. I wasn't eating breakfast. I wasn't eating anything until 2 o'clock in the day. I was getting up in the morning, getting up at 6 o'clock, going to work, and I wasn't eating for another 8 hours. So when you're eating then, you don't have a lot of time, so you're eating shite. I was very unhealthy with the food I was eating. The calories in, calorie out thing is simple enough, but if you're eating what I was eating, it's a whole different story. It doesn't matter how hard, how much I'm cycling, or how whatever. Like, even when I was going to the gym on my own and doing my own thing, it doesn't stand a chance against the stuff that I was eating. So that's where this challenge has, you know, overnight. It really is an overnight change. It really is of how a person can change.
Yeah. And I think you touch on something very important there in your very last sentence. How a person can change. This is, and I want your feedback on this, Peter. Like, the message here for Chef Fit is, like, as I said to you before, like, you tried water diets and programs and all this shit. The reality is, it's fuck all to do with the program. It's fuck all to do with the diet. All I've had to do with that is make it simple so you can do it and you can follow through on it. And yeah, put time in it, that's fine. But really, like, from your point of view, like, where do you think the quick changes come from? Do you think it's because people are following a diet, or do you think there's something deeper changing?
I think when we had the initial week before the challenge started, and we were all kind of getting to know each other during the trial week, I remember, like, on the Tuesday or Wednesday, I put up a post saying, Cam, this is something different here. This is turning into a massive support group. We were all opening each other's hearts to each other, and chefs don't do that. They don't do that at home. So, you know, all of a sudden they're doing it on this Facebook group of these people. So when the challenge actually started, I wasn't doing it for me. Well, of course I was. I wasn't doing it just for me. I was doing it because we all came together and said, you know what? All this shit is fucked up and we're all in the same boat now.
Yeah.
Here's a way that we can get out of it. So when the first day came along, everyone was like, we were itching to go from halfway through the trial week, but we were all in the same boat. We were like, actually, do you know what? Come on, we all started it.
Yeah.
And we all attacked it. I think that's why it works so well. That's why it clicks in. The try part of it has always been the motivator, rather than getting up and, you know, knowing that you're going to hit that scales on Monday.
Yeah.
The main thing is every day, not just like, later on I'm going to check in on the group. We're constantly in with each other. We're constantly updating each other, and we're constantly checking on each other's stats. And then you're thinking, like, oh, look what he's after doing. I was going to take it easy today. Right, I better not. I'm going to go up. I'm going to get on that horse.
Yeah. Fact. That's the power of the tribe. That's the people are, oh, do I need it? I could fucking do that myself. Fucking go and do it yourself and see it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, this is the power of, like, being with people who are struggling with the same shit, who are from similar backgrounds, and they want the same thing. And it's like, giving it, I think, from the only thing that I tried to do there was make it all right to open up about shit. Make it all right to fucking be real. And not just
doing that yourself.
Yeah. Not just surface level bollocks, you know? And it's so fucking true, man. It's so true, and it was a very powerful thing, and it was a surreal experience for me, and that's why the chef, it's changing. It changed from the start, right through that first week. It was like, this is way more than just weight loss. This is a fucking, as I said, it's a movement, but it's also a way that chefs can empower themselves to change their lives, like take control of their fucking lives. Not just like accept shit sitting down, not just try this for a bit and see what happens, not just get a fucking gym membership and see what happens. No, commit, understand what you're fucking looking to do is very, very, it's an arduous task. For you when we spoke on day one, and it was like, what do you want to achieve here, Peter? Like, what's the thing that you want to sort out? It's like, the gut. And it's like, cool. Well, like, let's what weight does that look like? And it's like, I think we're kind of going back and forth. It's like 10 kilos. Does that seem a bit fucking over the top? And it's like, when you're in something that powerful, nothing should be out of your grasp. Nothing should be out of your fucking grasp. And that's the power of it. The trifecta, I call it. At the tip is the path. That's your fucking program. That's your nutrition. That's all the stuff that I've mapped out for you. Boom. On one corner is the identity. So like for you right now, a lot of the chefs that I've been talking to, there's an identity that you're trying to become somebody. Like you told me on day one, I want to be addicted to exercise. Now, some people mightn't be that fucking intense about it, but that was your thing. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, Peter, this is where you're at now. That's where you want to be. Who the fuck's that guy? Who's that guy? What's his habits? What's his routines? What's his rituals? And I think what's happened is I've tried to say, it's like, okay, cool. All the videos, habits, rituals, you're becoming that person. Then on the other corner of the trifecta, it's the tribe. And it's like those three corners make up a pyramid. And if you can fucking combine three of them, it's more powerful than just fucking went to the gym there. Try the fucking green tea. You know what I mean? It's like bollocks. But anyway, sorry, we're rambling. So last but not least, Peter, last question would be, from where you're at now and where you see yourself going in the next 90 days, what would your advice be to a chef who's watching this right now, who's on the fence, who's not entirely sure if it's for them, who's not entirely sure if they should take action, what to do? They have a million different options, but they know they need to change. What's your advice to someone like that?
I can tell you what my reaction would be, because that's exactly how I was. I was the same. I was like, is this gonna work? Is this gonna be a fad? Is this gonna be a crash diet? Is this gonna be something like that? So my advice would be, what I told myself was, just look into it, have a look, and then we got the phone call done. Once I had the phone call done, I knew that I was in. If any chefs are sitting on the fence about it, first of all, obviously, I'd recommend it. 100% would recommend it. I would also think, for the people that were thinking about joining, if they had their goals and said, right, realistically, this is what I want to do, and then add another 40 to 60% onto that of what you think you're even able to do, and then imagine that that's what you're actually going to do. Not about what you're able to do or what you want to do. This is what you are going to do.
Yeah.
This works. Yeah. You're not on your own here. This isn't you go to the gym. Look, a chef can go on Google and find out what they have to eat. A chef can go and join the gym, and then they'll get a program off like a person that works in the gym and say, right, you do that, and then come back in 6 weeks and we'll pump the weight up. It's not that simple. Within this group, again, it's going back to the tribe, but this is the main thing here, is that you're in it together. You're not on your own here when you're doing it. So no chef should be on their own. Chefs are used to being on their own because there isn't somebody to stand up for chefs. There hasn't been somebody before that would put their neck out for chefs. Nobody has ever said, here, chefs in particular, I'm going to help you. And this is not just a fitness regime. This is not just a diet nutrition regime. This is an overall how you look at yourself, where you want to be, how long you think it'll take you to get there. Half it double the results, and this is what you literally can achieve. Nobody's half-assing it in here, because there's no point. You're not going to get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Just look into it. First of all, that'll be the first step. Look into it.
Yeah.
Second step, make the call, and then investigate what you would like to do, and then make the call. And I guarantee you, it's not what you're expecting.
Yeah.
It really isn't. It's not what you think.
Big time. And I think you've, I like the way you phrase that, because it's like, look into it. Because the message has always been that I'm not going to save you. It's not like no one is going to save you. Nobody in this world is going to save you. You have to save yourself. People can lead you. I can lead you. Someone else can lead you. You could step into the group and Peter could lead you, you know, but that's not being saved. Being saved is you're expecting someone to do the work for you. Being saved is expecting someone to just pull you out of the pit. And the reality is you need to be clear on what you want in your life. And if you're at a point now where you're experiencing a lot of pain, and I know a lot of chefs are, I know for a fact, I know from working in restaurants, I know what working fucking 70, 80 hours a week is. I know what that feels like, you know? You've got to be real with what you want. If you find your relationships have suffered, your relationships with your kids, your missus, your quality of life has suffered, it's like that's the kind of pain that's going to drive you to action. And realize that, you know, Chef Fit is an opportunity to change all of that. But the question initially lies on you to take the initial action. You must be clear on what you want. You must be clear on what you're trying to fucking get out of this whole thing, you know? And once you have that and you take the step and you actually ask for the help, that's where the power is. That's where the power is. And I would hope that this video is a great message to a lot of people, a lot of chefs. I think it's a very, very important thing. And where I see this thing going in the next couple of years, it's fuck all to do with me. It's fuck all to do with me. What I would hope is that one day that there is a movement that empowers chefs to take their lives back, you know, and not take their lives, which is a very common thing, take their lives back, you know, get the fucking tools, put you together, make you realize that you're not alone, make you realize that you have the power to fucking change things, make you realize that it's all in front of you and you've got everything to fucking live for. You just have to step out and you have to ask. With that, bombshell, folks, that was the OBG, the man himself. Peter, thank you so much, bro. That was fucking sick.
My pleasure, anytime.
So, again, folks, 30-day trial for Chef Fit is opening up, okay? Get on it, book in a phone call with myself. We will go through your goals and we'll really find out what you want to achieve and get you in. After that, then, the choice is yours, whether you want to step away and look to be saved or you want to join the VIP. But regardless, you will get the chance to work alongside chefs such as this man here. Learn how to take names, learn how to take control of your life, all those things that we've just aforementioned. So again, Peter, thank you so much, bro. I will chat to you. I'll probably chat to you in a couple of minutes, to be honest, because I don't stop looking at this man's face in the group, which is a good thing. I wake up and makes me very happy. But regardless of that, bro, thank you so much. Folks, get your shit together. Hope that was insightful for you. I'll see you all in the Chef Fit journey.